worldofmensga.com, representing San Joaquin Black Biz. I'm down here downtown at the Co-op with Dr. Shinshuri here of, what's your organization again called?
Oracles of Truth.
Oracles of Truth, that's right. And so, hey, we want to just sit down and talk with that. I've heard great things about the organization and the program. You know, they have some great programs to offer small businesses. So really want to sit down for my Talk Tuesday and see what Dr. Shinshuri had to offer. So why don't you tell us a little bit about you and then about your program?
So a little bit about me is the fact that, of course, I'm a doctor, and I have all of my 3 degrees, but that my education doesn't make me. What makes me is the unconditional love and the compassion that I have for the community to help people self-actualize.
Okay.
And that is to lead them to the water. You know, I can't make them drink, but I can incentivize them while they're standing there. See, I can give them an incentive that makes them want to drink, even though I can't make them drink. Right. And one of those incentives is making it so lucrative and empowering for them that they can't refuse it. It's almost like, who gonna run from love? Right. Okay. Who's gonna run from a opportunity to transform your own life by getting all of the stabilizing services that you need, the job readiness, and learning by doing, and job placement. A win-win-win for everybody, not only the individual, the entrepreneur, the city, the state, and of course, me. Okay. I get the joy of really, being there as a positive force of influence for other people.
Knowing that you help people on their journey.
Exactly.
Okay.
Whatever that journey is, and whatever walk of life they come from. If you've hit rock bottom, or what people call their nadir, I can be that beacon of hope for you, so that you can see the potential light at the end of the tunnel from where you are. And no matter where you are, whether you're coming in and you are homeless or veteran, abusive situations, whatever that is, we can curtail those things in your life and put you back on track to be more self-actualized and more empowered to, live the best life that you want to live.
Okay, that's wonderful. So in those aspects, let's touch base a little bit on your program, Oracles of Truth, right? And how you can tie some of those things into your entrepreneur program and how that helps local businesses. Yeah,
so Oracles of Truth is the name of the nonprofit organization. It is a academy. And what we've done is created a program called Whole Person Care, which is currently funded through the cannabis legislation in the state of California through the Governor's Office of Business and Economic Development. Okay. So we partner with local community-based organizations, both in Sacramento and here in San Joaquin. And we provide access to 3 formularies: lifestyle support, education, and employment. And by providing these 3, we're the first agency that I'm aware of that's actually doing it as efficiently as we're doing it, and really giving people an opportunity to change their life or convert their life or transform their life. Some are coming and they're homeless and they're getting back on their feet. Some are coming out of the penal system and they don't know they're getting a second chance with love and compassion. And so the program, Whole Person Care, offers these 3 formularies, so we get them the stabilizing services they need. That would be things like transportation, child care, housing, medical, mental health services, legal services to help expunge their records, or to get them their driver's license if they, don't have one, or they lost it, or their social security card. These are barriers to re-entry, right? And so someone that is struggling in their life, they get an opportunity to come to us and we look at their lifestyle. We ask them a series of questions. What do you need from a lifestyle perspective? We help stabilize them and get them back to being a self-sufficient being. And then concurrently with that, in the planning, we also put them on what we call an education plan. And that education plan gets them the job readiness skills, not just an idea of a job and the skills, but an actual one.
Okay.
So tied with the education plan, we give them an employment plan to place them with employers. The beautiful thing about the program, the Whole Person Care Program, we in the community are a connector to take individuals in the community who have all these needs and connecting them to right resources and agencies that actually leads to them being self-actualized. Employers, government agencies that are offering, services such as CalFresh and Medi-Cal. Also mental health services. All of the services that a person might need to stabilize them. And then with the education and training, we partner with employers, and those employers work with us to build their workforce capacity. So we take that same group of people who are coming in our door and getting them stabilized and then putting them in training that the employer needs them to do. So it will be job readiness skills for that employer, that specific employer. So, maybe you need to teach them how to do your processes and work your systems or work with your policies. And we train them in those skills that you need them to do. And we send them over to you to do that work. So if you're a small business in the community, especially during COVID-19, I've actually helped about 5 small businesses here in Stockton thrive during COVID and not have to close their doors because we're sending over people to work for them while they're on our payroll.
So let me touch base on that again, because you just hit a good tone. You're helping small businesses with their employment or their employee issues on your own payroll, not theirs.
Yes, so it's human resources and recruitment is an aspect of this. But that's not the Whole Person Care Program. That's a whole nother program that the entrepreneur is getting called Mentor Leadership. It's an entrepreneur program to help them build workforce capacity. So I'm connecting the two. I'm bringing the workforce pool who need a second chance to change their life, to get back on their feet, to self-actualize, whatever it is they're trying to do to be a stable, whole world working citizen in the community. And then the businesses that are in the community that are suffering, either because they don't have enough staff or because they're sole proprietors and they can't really afford because they need to grow a little bit more before they can actually hire. So what we do is we serve as a opportunity for the employer to get access to human capital, but not have the expense associated. So it's a cost savings for the business, the small business, because we're only doing it with small businesses. If you're a larger organization and we partner with you, then you're more of a referral agency. Right? So like UEI refers their students to us because they need help with us connecting them to employers. So we partner with them and they send them over as a warm handoff. And now we give them soft skills or the job readiness skills and send them out to an employer. Because they don't, even with UEI, you don't get all of the skill sets at UEI. They're only teaching you in a very specific certification or certificate, like maybe medical practitioner, medical office assistant, or business operations specialist, or administration, BOA. So you're getting a very specific certificate level training. But it's not enough
to get you in the workforce. So you may have to get a little bit more nurturing. So what we do, instead of having, even though we're an academy, what we did is we've built the workforce experience with the educational experience, and we call it a work study program. So it's actually Whole Person Care work study program. They get a stipend monthly, but they are learning the job while doing the job. Right? So it's built into the experience of working. But even if you come with no skill sets, we're going to get you the skills and send you out to an employer. And while you're working with that employer, you're getting training at the same time. So it's not a job yet. It's an internship. It's an externship. It's also an opportunity for you to build your skill sets while being compensated or getting some kind of cash in your pocket, some money in your pocket while you're learning. So debt-free education is really what it is. I like that. I want to circle back a little bit, back to your entrepreneur mentorship program. And from a business person or business owner standpoint, a small business owner, so many business owners, they reach that precipice where they have more business than they can handle, but not enough business to sustain new payroll. You know, those are growing pains that small businesses incur. So that's where, as a small business owner, your program can help me or any small business with that struggle by providing a workforce that can help me grow my business, but it's not on my payroll.
Yes, but a lot of times at the same time, it's a mentoring program too for the entrepreneur to help them understand this is a temporary thing. It's not intended for them to always be on my payroll, right? So we give you up to 6 months to prove yourself that you can actually grow it beyond sole proprietorship, right? Because if I'm sending them to you, at the end of the day, they want a full-time job.
Right.
They're not in a job with me. Well, during that 6-month period, they're in a work-study program. And they get stipend and they get compensated to be there to learn the job. But at the end of the 6 months, they need to transition into a full-time job with somebody. With someone.
And hopefully,
if it's not you, then, you know, and I'm constantly sending people in there and I'm not seeing a growth for you, then I'm going to have to sit down with you and kind of course correct with you. Because the whole idea is that in our there's 2 programs. There's the program Whole Person Care for the individual. Then there's the mentor leadership for the entrepreneur. But the entrepreneur is getting a little bit of whole business care, right? I don't call it whole business care because we have a program called Whole Person Care.
Right.
What I call it is business philanthropy. I'm going to give to you while helping you receive, you know, get a financial return from my giving. But I'm also going to make money too while I'm giving to you. So it's this reciprocity through self-service that's happening. But at the same time, I'm mentoring and coaching you on the financial aspects of your business and what you need to do strategically in order to move from sole proprietorship to a corporation or an enterprise or a partnership where there's more than just you operating the business.
Right.
And the reason you touched on something when you asked the question or you expressed what we do in a program, and that is they struggle. The entrepreneur struggles with trying to go into the payroll space because they don't have enough cash flow or they don't have this. And so when they get the help, if you're not aligning what you need in your operations from a functional level and a job role level to your bottom line, then you're going to always be in that situation.
That's a very good point.
Even after I've sent people, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people, if you're not able to put them on your payroll, then you're not growing.
Right.
So the question becomes, what are you
doing that's
impeding that process? Because if I give you 6-month lead time to grow your business, there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't hire 1 or 2 people every 6 months. You feel what I'm saying?
I understand.
If you're growing your business the way it needs to be. So it's not just about getting the human capital to come and work for you for 6 months so you can pocket and make some revenue or sales. How much are you also spending? Because every time you sell, you also got to make sure you're keeping your expenses low so your profit goes up, so you have some area in there for payroll, right? And profit. Right? So, but if you're doing it right, you should see in that 6 months this. And enough to bring in 1 or 2 people who can help you grow it even higher. Right. And bring in another 2 more people. So it's a strategy of evolution and growth as opposed to, I just need a few people to work with me right now. And I'm gonna get this cheap labor. If you're not strategizing, it's gonna plummet the moment I pull the people out.
That's gonna go right. And one thing I wanna touch base on, just because, and you mentioned it, the difference between being a sole proprietor, being a self-employed person versus being a business owner. And your program is trying to get that sole proprietor to become a business owner. A business owner can leave his business and the business will still function on its own.
Exactly.
sole proprietor, the minute we stop working, that business stops working.
Exactly.
You know, so I like that, and I want people out there to understand that that's the difference, and that's what we're striving to become, business owners. And that business is what you can also pass down to your next generation. You can will your business to your kids.
Well, but you need some kind of succession plan
yeah.
in place. Just because let's say you die suddenly, and you don't have a succession plan in place, guess what your family gonna do? Sell it.
Right.
That's all they gonna do.
That's all they can do.
Because that's all they can do. You haven't put a succession plan in place for a strategy to nurture somebody in your family to take the lead, and then they nurture another person to be there to help, so that you have this foundation of the family running the business. Owning the business. Yeah. Not a sole proprietor.
Right.
That the family can go off and do other things, but the board is reporting, the staff is reporting, the CEO is reporting. You're aware of what's going on in your business at all times, even though you're not present.
Right. Love it. I love it.
Right.
So is there anything else within your scope of programs that are kind of geared towards that you want to talk about with small businesses?
One thing is that I'm doing is I'm on my thing is to get the word out about what we're doing, so that more small businesses like yourselves can come and take advantage of this program, because the state of California is investing millions of dollars to put people to work, put them back to work. And they started it before the pandemic happened, and they just kind of increasing it as the pandemic is happening, because we're getting funding from the federal and from other private foundations to actually get these things done. The state of California is investing in you. Your taxpayer dollars are making this possible. And if you smoke marijuana, those tax dollars from the legal selling of that marijuana is actually paying for the program.
Hey,
so I don't dissuade anybody from puffing a couple of times, because the taxes that that you paid, the money you paid, and it gets taxed, is actually coming back into the program to help put people to work, to help people transform their lives, and give people a second chance.
Well, that's wonderful.
And allow businesses to thrive in the community. We're currently being funded not only by the state of California, but the city of Stockton funds the entrepreneur program.
Okay, all right. Well, on that note, why don't you let them know how they can get a hold of you?
Yeah, so you can if you're interested in the whole person care program, you can reach out to us on our website at oraclesoftruth.org. In front of the Oracles of Truth is OLC. You can come to our learning community, or you can go straight to the corporate site, which is oraclesoftruth.org/outreach. And you will see a small interest form come up where you just enter in your first and last name, your email address, and your mobile number, and someone will reach out to you in 24 to 48 hours to get you started in the whole person care program. Now, if you're interested and you're an entrepreneur and you're a sole proprietor and you want to grow your business during this pandemic, then I encourage you to do the same thing. Go to oraclesoftruth.org and sign up for our mentor leadership program. And I'll get you the website, so when you edit, you can put the URL on the screen. But it's a similar link, but the difference is one is for outreach for whole person care, and the other one is for the mentor leadership program. Okay.
Hey, well, like I said, I'm going to put the information, the link below, so you guys can get a hold of the Oracles of Truth program. It's been a great opportunity to sit and talk to you. Like I said, I've heard about you, and to be able to sit down with you and soak up some knowledge and some gains, be able to pass it on. I really appreciate that. This is Anthony Grigsby, World Events Insurance, worldeventsga.com, representing San Joaquin Black Biz. Be sure and like and subscribe. Hit that button below. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as I always say, shop Black Stockton. We'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.